Hello, everybody. It is Amber Kivett here. I'm with Lifepro, and I've been with Lifepro for many years, going back to 2018. My journey with Lifepro started because of feeling some of my worst days, over 200 pounds, and coming out of a surgery, a total hysterectomy, and having a lot of inflammation and not having anybody on board as far as physicians or training coaches or nutritionists. I didn't have anybody on board who could help me with figuring out how to get off all this extra weight that it wasn't really wanting to carry around. So today I'm not going to be teaching a workout until the very end, but today is fat burning strategies more than it is the actual workout. I'm going to be offering the fat burning workouts earlier in the week. So if you are excited about watching this and you're stuck, you're having a hard time with understanding, like, okay, Amber has lost this weight on the vibration plate and she's done these workouts and I'm not experiencing this. So where's the disconnect? There are a lot of different things that go into a lot of different reasons and a lot of different strategies that go into losing fat mass in exchange for maintaining lean muscle mass. There's a difference in losing weight and losing fat. So what you have to be really careful of is paying too close attention on the scale of actually losing weight, because if you lose weight, but it's in the form of lean muscle mass or at the expense of your heart or at the expense of your organs, it is not worth trying to go after that number on the scale, especially if you don't want to have other repercussions. Back in the 90s, so I got my degree in sports medicine and exercise science. So I've been a certified strength conditioning coach, personal trainer, along with many other fitness certifications for the last 25 years. But have really specialized and dialed in over the last 7 to 8 years on understanding how to manage systemic inflammation, how to reduce pain, naturally speaking, but also how to age optimally, which we would call anti-aging. We can't not age, but we can age optimally. And a lot of people who are in those middle age years, from anywhere from 35 all the way up, many people are aging faster, looking older, feeling rigid, carrying more fluff. I don't like to call it fat around the frame because we actually need fat in order to survive. And so if you're wanting to lose some of this inflammation around the torso or in your legs or in your neck region, your face, at the age of 40, and I'll be 48 next month, I feel like I'm living my youngest, healthiest life right now. And it's not by doing more exercise. It's actually being mindful of strategies in which I can give my body the environment in order for it to thrive. And I've been able to do that through vibration. So most workouts that I do nowadays, I don't do cardio on cardio machines because it actually caused me more inflammation. I'll just be honest and be vulnerable and tell you, if there's a diet pill that's out there, I've already tried it in years past. I was taking different diet pills starting in 1999 with the intention, and I was healthy back in 99. I'm going to take you through a journey of my life of highs and lows of weight gain to weight loss. And when I started with Lifepro, I was significantly overweight, really overweight actually, and just not who I love to be. But when I first started my weight loss journey back in my collegiate years, I was definitely more of an athlete, and this is me in 99 as a triathlete, and I was doing a lot of distance running, a lot of cycling, a lot of different things. So right there, I actually weigh more in that picture than I do with you looking at me right now. The size that I am now is actually the same size in some ways here, but I'm much more stressed out here than I am in real time. So I went from that, and I have been on a balloon on this roller coaster ride for many years. And the first time that I started to learn to move again after 8 spinal injuries and the onset of fibromyalgia and autoimmune disease, that was just 3 years after the picture I just showed you. And so I'm over 200 pounds there, wearing Lane Bryant sweatsuit and feeling miserable about myself. Started my business in 2009 and was definitely back into better shape. And then adversity struck again, and I had a total hysterectomy, and then there I am ballooning again. And no matter what knowledge I had, no matter how much I dieted no matter how much I worked out. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. And I'm truly living proof of that, in that I tried and it does not work. So if you are focusing on your fat loss, of exerting more calories out and restricting calories in, yes, that is part of the solution. But if you are not taking in the right types of nutrients, and if you're not sure what your individual food allergies are, it's going to be a constant struggle in trying to figure out some of those things. And you want to see an integrated health practitioner who works Eastern medicine as well as Western medicine in order to figure out what your food allergies or sensitivities are. Because if, like, for instance, if you have Hashimoto's, or if you have hypothyroidism, if you have fibromyalgia like I do, if you have all these other autoimmune conditions in which they're telling you, do not eat this food, do not eat this diet. For me, I can eat a lot of things that a lot of other people are not supposed to eat, and those are the foods that actually fulfill my my biological needs, but those are different for each and every person. And so you want to make sure that you have the information that you need in lab work in order to be able to know why your body is not responding in the way that you hope it will, because it's not as simple as just dieting. And there are so many different diets, there's so many different eating regimens. I don't diet, I just do intermittent fasting. I will tell you this: if you're trying to use vibration for exercise, when I first started on this journey, let me show you a picture of what I looked like before I was going through the motions on this. And I want to make sure, hang on, I got to crop this out so that I'm not sharing pictures of people who don't want to be seen. Okay, so this was me shortly before I started using the vibration plate and doing the workouts online. This is a few months before the pandemic hit. And so when you see this, you're gonna be like, there's no way that's her. And sure it is. I was over 200 pounds here. And this is December going into 2020, so December 2019. And from there, let me show you where I ended up, because during all of this, when the pandemic hit, this is how I can validate that using the vibration plate can cause you to lose as much weight as you're wanting to lose if you're doing it right and you're not doing exclusively vibration plate training and not changing anything else in your life. You have to look at the entire picture as opposed to just trying to do more workouts. Or I'm going to stand on the machine because Amber said I can lose weight just using vibration. Yes, you can get on the machine and it will move your body for you. But there are other things you have to do when you're not on the machine, because your body only has excitatory, calming, and has the magic of the machine when you're using it. It has nothing to do with what you're doing when you're not on it. And you can't be on the machine all day, every day. It's not ideal. I've done it because of, making commercials for everybody. But, it's, so this is a very good friend of mine, Todd Durkin. We're going to give him a little love today because that's how I found Joel. So I know Joel with Lifepro is not going to care. But this was February of 2020 going into the pandemic. Okay, I was 175 pounds here. A few months after the other picture was taken where I'm close to 200, I was working out hard going into the pandemic because I was not loving myself. I didn't love who I saw in the mirror. And so when you don't love who you see in the mirror and you're trying really hard to work out, but you're still not celebrating what you're doing in that journey, your body continues to remain inflamed and stressed out because of your thinking process. And so when I became the spokesmodel of Lifepro, this was taken in October of 2020, a lot of weight loss. But let me tell you how I did it. I didn't do it by dieting and by not working out more. I didn't work out more. Every one of my workouts that I was doing in order to get down to this size was done social media on Facebook Live. And I didn't do any extra workouts in addition to that because nothing was open and I was working from home. So I went from being what she used to look like, big and swollen, looking more like that a few months before, to looking trim and happy into that. But I didn't even notice that she was coming to life. It was people telling me, Amber, like, you're shrinking. How are you doing it? And I didn't put two and two together until I'm like, oh, I'm doing my workouts on the vibration plate and I'm doing them live so that my clients and my customers have some kind of like lifeline, because when the pandemic hit, you couldn't work out in gyms, you couldn't work out in groups. So I did free workouts online, one workout every day on the vibration plate for 20 to 30 minutes. And that's all I did. But the secret was I did it fasting. I did an intermittent fasting. I would do my workouts whenever I would do them was on a fasting tummy, and then pushing protein and pushing the right foods in addition to that. So she, in this picture, is about 150 pounds. Well, actually a little bit more than that, about 160 pounds here. So I had gone from about 175 to more like 155, 160. And today I weighed in at 140. So I'm living my youngest life right now. And that's the difference. That's what I'm looking like. And of course, it's doing all my workouts through vibration. Why is doing workouts through vibration so important? Well, if we have inflammation and if we have higher levels of stress hormones, your body will not allow you to release fat for fuel until it has gone through and restored, repaired, and the right hormones are going off. You cannot be in fight or flight and stress mode and be in weight loss mode at the same time. It's impossible to do that unless your body is breaking down muscle for fuel. And if it is breaking down muscle and if it is feasting off of muscle, then you are actually releasing more stress hormones and you're losing weight in the wrong places. You're not losing brown fat or white fat, the fat that's stubborn. You're losing muscle, which when you're losing muscle mass, you're losing the ability to move as smoothly and as stable as you should. So the ideal goal is to be able to lose fat mass at the exchange rate of being able to improve overall lean muscle mass, because what the research is showing right now, because of all the inflammation, all the overstimulation, all the fight or flight, the anxiety, the mental health challenges, the financial disconnect, just all the crises that are going on in modern day as we know it is very different than what it was 20 years ago. So what the research is showing now is that if you have too much inflammation, if your hormones are elevated, cortisol is elevated. Cortisol is a great hormone. We have to have it in order to jumpstart the engine and to be able to survive. Too much of it causes autoimmune conditions. So if you have a tipping point of having too much cortisol because your body is go, 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 and you're doing too much exercise in addition to that, and you're not fueling your system and going through restoration, then your body is not going to release fat for fuel, because you can live on fat for most of your life until there's nothing left, in which you dehydrate, but your body will give up muscle as much as it has to, because there's so much sugar and glycogen stored in the muscle that your body is going to break that down first, because it's very fast energy, and it's going to release fat much later because it takes a lot of extra fuel, a lot of extra ATP in order to be able to break down one series of molecules of fat for fuel. And so it's easier to starve the muscle of glycogen for energy than it is to go through the chemical process of being able to break down fat for fuel through the ATP process. Here's the challenge. If you are not hydrated, then your body is not going to release fat for fuel, because it requires hydrogen and oxygen molecules. It requires water in order to create that whole cycle process of breaking free fat for fuel. You're wondering, how can you break free fat from fuel? Well, when our body is swollen and storing extra energy in our fat cells, and those fat cells inflate, and then they are all connected to our connective tissue and in our fascia, it is stored within the system right here. And so if our fat this is the tissue that holds everything together. So if these fat cells are inflated and full of fuel to be used, but they can't break free in order for you to be able to mobilize and utilize that fuel, it's happening because of all these little adhesions, okay? Vibration breaks this free. Vibration reduces inflammatory hormones, stress hormones. Vibration increases just natural circulation to being able to free and trigger that fat burning process. And if you are already kind of monitoring what you're consuming, so if you're eating too much sugar, guess where it's going? It's going into the muscles, and then whatever's left over is going into your fat fuel reserves. So if you are wanting to starve the body of that reserve in order to tap into it quicker, then you're going to want to reduce the amount of sugar that you're consuming and increasing the amount of protein that you're consuming, so that you can utilize fat for fuel instead of having to break down the glycogen that you're taking in excess at first. Okay, so when we look at, this is our fat layer right here. This is our muscle. This is the fascia that connects it all together. And this top layer is our skin. And then we also have our blood vessels. So everything is intertwined in there. If you are not breaking free the tension and these adhesions to utilizing the fuel in the fat storage, then you're missing out. Vibration is what stimulates that response. So, can you lose weight by just standing on the vibration plate and shaking out? The answer is no. You're not going to do it that way. But can you use vibration as a tool and as a resource for improving how your hormones are regulating, how your inflammation is being reduced, and how your muscles are fully engaging so that you can exert more energy and releasing more fuel in exchange for weight loss, fat loss, while developing lean muscle mass at the same time? The vibration plates are awesome for doing that. But it's not going to happen by just standing, okay? However, if you sit most of the day and you don't mobilize, then your body becomes very stagnant, creates more inflammation. So you have to make sure that you are improving how much movement you generate during the day, because we have to increase overall metabolism. Metabolism improving increases mental health, circulation to the brain, caloric expenditure, and how our body regulates itself. It changes our hormone release and kind of management process. It cleanses our system. So if your body is full of junk, if you got junk in the trunk, you got to shake it free in order to be able to mobilize the junk in the trunk. But if your garbage disposal system is not eliminating the junk, which is our lymphatic system, if you have a compromised lymphatic system, you're not going to be losing fat. You're not going to be losing weight. Your body's going to hold on to it, because if your lymphatic system is stressed, then your body is not going to allow you to lose fat in the exchange for fuel, because your body can survive on that. Even when it's not able to move, your body can survive on fat far longer than it can survive on muscle alone. So you have to make sure that you are giving your body the best possible chance of being able to reshape itself, re-chisel itself, maximizing lean muscle growth while utilizing the fuel from the right sources. So if you are doing a ridiculous amount of cardio, you got to stop. I learned this the hard way through my entire 30s. I was doing about 10 to 12 hours of cardio a week, training for being an athlete in mud obstacle course racing, distance running. I was doing mini marathons, cycling, doing all kinds of different things. And in addition to that, I was a full-time mom. And in addition to that, I was a fitness instructor as a business owner. So I was teaching multiple fitness classes a week, coaching lots of individuals, and doing my own workouts in addition to that. So lots of exercise. And chronic exercise, especially at an elevated heart rate, causes more inflammation. And I had a couple of doctors who tried to tell me this, but I was still living off of past advertisements of calories out versus calories in. You have to exhaust the calories out before you can feed the calories in. That's not true. If you are taking in too little calories and trying to exhaust yourself doing too many calories, which is what I was doing using diet pills, I was restricting my appetite. I was exerting way more energy, and my body was like, nope, we're not doing this, because it wasn't getting what it needed in the form of nutrients in order to be able to repair the processes as well as my tissues, for my body to be able to thrive and to be able to just live at a basic level of metabolism and bodily regulation. So the inflammation hormones went up, which paused, halt, time out on fat loss. We're going to destroy muscle. And I didn't know it was happening, which creates more and more inflammation until you get exhausted. You've got brain fog. You are now carrying more fluid. You've got peripheral edema. You're gaining weight by doing more exercise and eating less. I was gaining weight using diet pills because the manufacturers of the drug companies are trying to say that this is going to work, but it doesn't work that way for everybody. So how did I figure it out? I actually figured it out in a bodybuilding forum after none of my doctors could figure it out. And so I started doing a bunch of research. And if you look at body sculptors, body competitors, You look at sprinters, you look at elite athletes who are lifting weight and doing less cardio. They're leaner, they're more defined, but they're not doing cardio. And if you look at people who are doing cardio, the athletes who are doing cardio and doing less lifting, they have more fat on their frame. Why? Because your body can survive doing endurance type exercise, being steady state cruise control. Your body is not going to use the different types of fuels and the different energy systems by steady state heart rate regulation or being on cruise control for endurance event. So if you're running mini marathons, if you're doing triathlons, if you're doing these like life events, these centuries, like longer exercise than 45 minutes. If you're doing that, your body is holding on to fat for fuel because it can run off of fat for fuel for days. Whereas muscle, it's only going to run off of muscle fuel for a couple of hours at the most, and then it's going to shift over at the expense of you creating more impact and more inflammation, and then your body's got to go through recovery. So what's the secret sauce? Here's how it goes. You want to keep your cardio workouts less than 20 or less than 30 minutes. So you're going to find when we do our workouts, you're going to experience in Amber's fat blasting routines coming early next week, you're going to find that we're going to keep the workouts 10-minute segments. So you're going to do 10 minutes because the vibration plates are set at 10-minute increments. 10-minute segments, high-low. So we're going to push the gas pedal. We're going to push the brake pedal. We're going to push the gas throttle acceleration forward. We're going to decelerate and let the fuel come back down. When you're doing high-low roller coaster ride in the form of exercise, your body requires more fuel, allows the heart rate and respiration rate to come back down into a comfortable pace where you can breathe and where you can recover. So it's about sprint, recovery, sprint, recovery, sprint, recovery. And if we can incorporate resistance into those routines at the same time of getting the heart rate and respiration rate up in little bursts of fuel consumption, that's going to allow your body to lose fat without destroying muscle in the process, and you tapping into the glycolytic system, which changes your insulin response, which changes metabolism. So if you are metabolic resistant, if you have autoimmune issues, if you're diabetic, if you've got, if you have not had your sex hormones checked by a functional medicine practitioner, typically a nurse practitioner in anti-aging hormone regulation, you absolutely need to get tested, your testosterone, your estrogen, your progesterone, your thyroid levels, your vitamin D3 levels, as well as check for inflammatory markers. If you are deficient in vitamin D, which most Americans are, you're losing fat consumption or fat regulation, meaning you're reducing the amount of fat that you can metabolize and use for energy for fuel by 30%. 30% is a significant number when we're talking about blowing up fat for fuel. But if your vitamin D is deficient, your body will not allow you to use the fuel for fat consumption or using fat for fuel use through exercise or for survival if your vitamin D levels are downregulated. Vitamin B levels are also really important. So if you're not getting vitamin B on a regular basis, then your energy is going to crash and the body does not regulate its physiological processes the same way, which means you cannot lose fat for fuel. Last but not least, if you are not taking a multivitamin and you're not getting hydration, so you should be drinking water in the form of ounces, half of your body weight, not fat, half of your total weight. So if I weighed in this morning at 140 pounds, I need to make sure that I'm consuming a minimum of 70 ounces of water per day, because that's the minimum that my body needs in order to regulate its systems. And if it doesn't have that fuel to regulate the systems, hydration, water, it is not going to tap into fat metabolism for fuel consumption resource. Does that make sense? If you have questions over information that I'm covering, if it becomes too complex, then please list questions in the chat box so that I can make sure that I'm dialing in on some of this, because we want to make sure that you're getting the right information as to why you're putting in the efforts that you're putting in, but you're not getting the results that you're hoping for. All right, now, I'm not trying to sell you this. I'm just making sure that you're aware that we offer it. Lifepro is part of a new sister company called Sunello. And we have a link on the Lifepro website that you can access if you're interested in checking into these nutritional optional resources. These are all superfood green blends. So if you're not taking Supergreens, if you're not getting the superfoods in your system, if you don't like eating those foods naturally, like I don't like to eat those foods because it grosses me out. I don't like sauerkraut. I don't like, I don't eat my normal green vegetables because I don't have time to prepare a lot of that stuff. And so I don't have a master chef. So I make sure that I get it as whole food natural as possible without any additives. Sunello is a new company that Lifepro has, the creators of Lifepro have created this company as a sister company to Lifepro products. It is a kosher, the original developers of Lifepro are from an amazing family in New York. And so they are kosher, naturally speaking, in how they live their life and their resources. So this is a non-GMO, organic, kosher product company. There's no soy in here, and there's no sugar added. And when we're looking at the back, you can get 30 servings per container of one of these little bags. It's only 15 calories for one scoop. And this one specifically has got collagen, turmeric, cinnamon bark, and you can add it to whatever you want to. But this is manna berry, so it's kind of a berry flavor. So that's one of the superfoods. This one is melon flavored. And again, all of these products, again, non-GMO, no soy. It is kosher, so organically speaking, and prepared in a very controlled setting. This one specifically has the spirulina algae, the organic alfalfa, and green tea leaf. And so again, 20 calories per serving on this. And then it provides you the different nutrient content on the back. And again, it's manufactured in New Jersey, so it is an American manufactured product. And again, from the holistic directors and creators of Lifepro have gone into Sunello. And then we have the wild berry, which is more for weight support as opposed to digestive and dietary supplementation. So if you're looking for weight support, you're going to want to look into the lean wild berry. And this one specifically has chicory root, black pepper fruit, cinnamon bark, and then it has the greens. It has the other greens blend, other reds blend. So it's going to have raspberry fruit extract, organic strawberry, pomegranate, organic blueberry, acai fruit juice powder, and then it has a probiotic prebiotic blend. So in order for your body to restore its tissues, where there's issues in the tissues, you're not going to have fat loss. So you need to make sure that your tissues are happy and that your nutrients are being fulfilled. And you can use a combination of all of these in order to do this, but this has got it's got a little bit, it doesn't have much protein. So if you're looking for a protein supplement, make sure that you're looking for a protein supplement that is, if you're sensitive to whey, if you're sensitive to soy, look for a protein supplement in the form of collagen, because our body makes 23 different types of collagen, and you want to make sure that you're getting an authentic type of collagen and through amino acids. With amino acids are the growing or the power plants of protein synthesis and building protein. And protein is what builds muscle and helps to eliminate the extra stores of fat energy, if that makes sense. Okay? And then making sure that you're drinking good, healthy water. So, but anyhow, not here to sell you this. Just want to make sure you're where it's available. So wild berry is for weight management. The melon happy blend is all about digestive health, which, by the way, 80% of serotonin is made and manufactured in the gut. If you don't have the conditions to being feeling good in the gut, if you're having food sensitivities, if you're not using the bathroom routinely, if you've got acid reflux issues, if you are breaking out in your torso in a rash, if you have IBS, that's me, so I have to eat little bits throughout the day, then you want to make sure that you're getting all the right nutrients for proper digestion health, because if you're not taking care of your gut, your fat will not allow to be used for fuel. In other words, if you are in fight or flight, go, 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 it is blocking your happy hormones from being released, which is serotonin. Serotonin is a gut regulated hormone. So it's not made in the brain, it's made in the belly. And if it's in the belly, then if you're not giving it what it needs to be, something that's created naturally, then you're not getting the happy hormones, which means you're in a stress state, which means you're not going to be able to tap in fat stores. So, and then we have our joint relief, pain, mobility support system, which is Flex Ease Nanoberry. So combination of those three is definitely helping in all this. Correct. So the question is this a supplement mix, not a protein powder? That is exactly correct. There's no protein. It's less than 1 gram of protein. So if you're one of those who likes making smoothies, but you don't want to go out and buy all the greens and all of the specialty foods in order to be able to doing that, the super whole foods, you can add a scoop of this because, again, it is kosher. It is kosher friendly. It is organic, and there's no additives in it, and there's no sugar that's artificial. You can blend it with your natural protein powder, whether you're using a chocolate powder or using a flavorless powder, or you're using a collagen-based powder, which is what I use. I use a collagen-based protein powder and mix it with like chocolate milk, just in order to be able to get the protein in. But you can use this in combination with like a frozen berry. If you go to the grocery and buy frozen berries, you can add this greens mix, this superpower mix to whatever protein supplement you're using. But if you're not getting the right nutrients, you're not getting the right vitamins in your body will not allow you to release fat for fuel because there's a starvation process taking place. So that's a lot of information for many of you to swallow, but I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of these products that are now a sister. Again, you can find this on our website with Lifepro, but if you're not getting the right supplementation, I am guilty of that. I'm just going to be straight up and honest with you. I don't eat as much as I should through the day because I am grinding, working, and doing other things that I love, and I don't have a chef, and I don't want to clean up the mess, so I just make sure that my body is getting what it essentially needs on a minimum level through supplementation and through what I do put in my body. So I'm guilty of it, but you don't have to use Sunello. You can use whatever product you want. You can use it in combination with Sunello, but most important thing is if you're not getting the minimal amount of calories for your body to function, your body needs a minimum of 1,200 calories a day, minimum. If you're wanting to lose fat while maintaining lean muscle mass, you really need 1,500 because you have to be able to cut calories as you're learning how to lose. As you're losing weight, as you're losing fat, you don't need nearly as much fuel in order to regulate the systems that your body needs. And so if you are needing to shrink the amount of fuel that is needed for your system and you're already intaking that fuel, you have to be able to continue to restrict calories from a standpoint. But if you are starting your eating regimen and your weight loss journey only 1,200 calories, there's nothing left to restrict. You can't do it. So your body goes into fight or flight mode. Even though you're not eating and you're exercising, your body starts to store sugar and fat because it's afraid that you're going to starve itself. So you have to make sure that you're eating enough, but make sure that you're getting plenty of protein. So the criteria for protein supplementation is like for me, at 140 pounds, I need to be consuming a minimum of 90 to 100 grams of protein a day. And I will show you a couple of protein sources that I use since everybody's asking. And then the other part of this is water consumption. So let me bring the water options out here to you. And you got to make sure that you're getting good water. Because a lot of water that is regulated by your community, by your towns, has a lot of added stuff in it that causes inflammation. There's a lot of things that the government puts in water to try and sanitize it or sterilize it for drinking consumption that actually causes more problems for us. So these bottles, these water bottles, are hydrogenized. They're hydrogen oxygen ionization. So what that means is by putting water in here, most of us are living at a very acidic levels. When our body is too acidic, it's not going to release fat for fuel because of inflammation. A lot of the crap food that we put in our system causes our gut to become more acidic, which causes the disconnect of serotonin. So this is a hydrogen ionization water bottle. So when you push the button, you're going to see bubbles. And there is a battery in here that is pushing an alkaline positive pH charge through an ionization process. And so when this goes through its ionization process, then you drink the water immediately, and that converts in through your system. And so again, we have those available. These just came out a few months ago, but you just push the button and it's recharge. It carries a charge on its own. So we turn that off and just watch. You just drink it. It actually tastes different. It tastes crisp, fresh. Like if you're used to tasting like fluoride in your water, you're used to tasting that nastiness of well water. If you've had well water before, I was on a farm for many years, so I was, but yeah, this tastes really good. So if you don't want to drink it all, you just push the button when you're ready to go, and this runs, I want to say it runs for about 15 minutes nonstop, and then when it's done, you just drink it. So when it comes to this one, the chug bottle, this one does the exact same thing. Push the button, and you're going to see there's a light inside of there, and it's doing the same thing. It's pushing that ionization of hydrogen molecules into the water, so that when I go to consume them, it is changing the pH of my gut and changing the pH of the hydration in my system to making it very, very happy. So it's not necessarily in a fight or flight, go, go, go. It's allowing me to flush out toxins as well as, being able to utilize it. So yes, I have used tap water in order to fill up. I also use bottled water, but bottled water is just as bad as tap water in a lot of different ways. So if you don't have a reverse osmosis, or if you don't have an osmosis filtration system in your home, and you're not using a filter on your shower, because our skin is absorbing whatever it comes into contact with. So whatever you shower in, your skin absorbs that as well and goes into your system. But yes, this is, I have used tap water, and I've used alkaline specific bottled water. I have used, I actually have a filter, like a straw filter. If I'm out hiking and I run out of water, I can fill it up in this bottle and use this filter to straw out the contaminated water, if that makes sense. Because if you don't have access to water, you're in trouble. So so you can use regular tap water if you choose to. It's not going to remove the fluoride and all the other stuff that you're putting into it, but it's going to ionize it, which if you can change the ionization of the cells, then the more cells that you affect, the better. So anyhow, but what I like about this is, so this right here is, gotta see it. This is 50 ounces of water, and it gives you the recommendation on the side that you want to be emptying this bottle by 9 p.m. starting at 9 a.m. So it's kind of a reminder to drink water every hour, every 2 hours. You should be drinking down your water. And again, this is only 50 ounces. So Amber needs another half of these in addition to this in order to be able to be at optimal, normal levels of functioning. And if you don't have enough water in your system, you're not going to lose fat. So you're asking me about what kind of protein? Hang on, I'll show you. All right, these are just a couple of things that I use. I'm not saying that it's the best thing to use, but this is what I use. I like having a couple of different options, only because if you don't have those options, and if you don't have the ability to do what you need to do from a supplement standpoint at home, then it's not worth trying. So these, I'm not endorsing these. This is what you need to do in order to lose fat, but this is what Amber uses if I'm trying to get in my 100 grams of protein a day. Each one of these protein shakes is already pre-made, and it's got 30 grams each. They're all very low calories. So this one is 190 calories and has 30 grams of protein, which is 60% of the recommended based on the American food pyramid, which is not really all that great and accurate. But it only has 12 grams of carbohydrates and only 6 grams of actual sugar. So it's a really good balance. And then we've got this one, and I get both of these from Costco. With this one, it is an all-natural 150 calories, 30 grams of protein, 3 grams of carbs, with vitamin D, 25% of your daily regimen of vitamin D, 60% of calcium. You just shake it up, And by the way, you don't want to shake up something that's got carbonation, because when you go to open it up, it will, my daughter did this in my car the other day. Not good. So shake it up in order to mix up the ingredients, but let it settle for just like maybe a minute before you pop the top. And then same thing. Yeah, so it's good stuff, but that's what I use. And then there's another, if you're using a collagen peptide in the form of protein that's unflavored that you're wanting to mix with your superfoods with the Sunello. This one has been around for a long time. This was one of the first collagen proteins I ever learned about at the World Show. And so it was primarily kind of engineered, and selling point is for skin, hair, and nails. But it truly is a protein generated collagen that is made through animal protein. So it's grass-fed animals. And 1 scoop of this, 4 tablespoons, is 20 grams of collagen protein peptides. So you're getting 18 grams of protein, you're getting 20 grams of collagen peptides. So that's a good one that you can find about anywhere, really. Oh, and so there, it just finished charging. So you just pop the top and drink. Good stuff. Okay. So we talked about water. We've talked about protein. Snacks. This is one of my favorite snacks. Skinny dipped peanut butter cups instead of eating chips and junk. One of these is 30, no, I take that back. One of these is 80 calories. So little itty bitty taste of chocolate. Fix that sweet tooth. Gluten-free, no sugar, alcohols, no artificial flavors, and 6 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. So this is not a good source of protein, but it is a good cheat food if you're needing to get something in with a little bit of a sweet spot and a little bit of protein, just a little bitty bit of protein. But hey, you gotta have a little fun, otherwise the journey's not worth it. So that's the other thing I want to share with you. If you're stinking thinking and you're really obsessed about the fat loss process, guess what? You're in fight or flight, you're in reactive, your body's not going to let you lose. So when you're intentional about celebrating your body and giving it what it needs for maximal function or for optimal function, so you're checking those hormones, you're getting the nutrients, you're getting the protein, you're staying moving, you're changing what goes on in the mind and embracing the journey instead of dreading it. If you are dreading your fat loss journey, your body is going to hit a plateau, and then you're going to go right back to where you started from. When we look at some of the reality TV shows in which they lose a ridiculous amount of weight and then they're on their own and they're doing other things, when they go back to living their normal life in the real world, not in a staged presence where you have a chef and you have a dietitian and you got a doctor and you got a personal trainer and you have no kids or family, no responsibility, you don't have to work, you are go, 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 but you are grinding nonstop and eating very little. Every one of those contestants has come out on social media or in person and has said, this was the absolute worst thing that I've ever done in my life. It was all for money, for all the production, but it's absolutely awful in what has happened to me because it destroyed their metabolism in ways that some of it cannot be reversed. And they're dealing with more weight gain now than they ever have, and the depression that goes with that as feeling like a failure. So if you are not intentional with celebrating your body, in other words, I didn't know that I was losing weight as I was losing weight using the vibration plate because I was doing it for everybody else. I was not doing it for me. I was not like, ooh, I get to do a workout today. Let me get on that vibration plate. Here we go. Now let's keep track of those calories. That is not how it went. It was all about my clients need this. There are people buying vibration plates. They need to learn how to use them. And being a personal trainer and a strength coach and being a sports medicine professional, I just started making videos and doing workouts and exercises just to keep the body moving. And I started to shrink. But I was shrinking because I wasn't thinking about it. And so I've lost, I was over 200 pounds when I started this journey with Lifepro, and I'm 140 now. And I did majority of all of it, yes, using vibration. So can you lose weight on the vibration plate? Absolutely. That's how I did it. But are you going to do it just standing and waiting for it to disappear? No, that's not how simple it is. If it were that simple, we would be selling a lot more machines for a lot more money because everybody would do it, right? So you have to make sure that you are focusing in intentionally. You're working on the mental aspect of loving yourself. If you don't love who you are because of what you look like in the mirror, your body's not going to surrender that fat in order to release for fuel, because it thinks you're in starvation mode, you're in survivor mode, you hate yourself, you're like, it's trying to keep you alive while up here is losing itself. So embrace the journey, because when you can celebrate that you got on the vibration plate for 10 minutes and you made it through an Amber workout, like, you're not getting on the scale just to seeing how much you lost. You're celebrating the fact that you did it. So it's not that you have to do it, it's that you get to do it. So make sure that you're mindful about your goals and that you are embracing the process, because most of you, it took months, years, decades to pack on the weight that you're carrying around that you're not happy about. And if you're trying to compare yourself with what you used to do, it is not going to work. When you're comparing yourself to the past, that is fight or flight, insecure mode, your body needs you to be confident, and it needs to be able to embrace a new experience that it has not had. And so using vibration to doing your workouts, to using it for jumpstarting the energy systems, but reducing inflammation, it's not about how hard you can push. It's the fact that you're actually doing it. So as I start transitioning into a couple of workouts for you, I just wanted to be able to share with you, there are a lot of different biohacks that you can do. What is a biohack? It is a type of, it is using technology or using science to change our body's chemical, physiological processes so that it benefits us instead of just staying where it's at. You see, our body was not engineered to do what it's doing with modern day AI, internet, go, youth sports, television, government stress, like all these different things that cause us to stress out. Our body was not meant to keep up with that. So if we can feed it different types of love, and that it can receive that energy and it can change itself and feel it and heal itself, our body has the ability to fix itself and to release what it no longer needs, fat for fuel, if we would just give it a little extra love. So that means loving from within, okay? Now, so one thing that I do, if you're not already, again, if you've not had your hormone checks, if you are beyond the years of having children, male or female, doesn't matter. If you're beyond those early 30 years, and if you have gone through a lot of stress recently, men especially, if you as a male are in your mid to late 30s, your testosterone and growth hormone is slowly coming down to what you're not used to. So if you're having trouble with libido, if you're having trouble with brain fog, if you're having trouble with depression, if you're having acid reflux issues, you're having gastrointestinal distress, whether it is too much pooing or not enough pooing, if you're having incontinence issues with being able to hold urine or you're leaking in between, these are all signs and symptoms that your hormones are off. And so men, if your testosterone levels are on the lower edge of normal, you should look into getting tested through somebody who specializes in hormone regulation, low T office, or professionals, because there are ways that you can supplement testosterone to where your brain picks it up as if it's a natural part of your being. And then those processes that it needs testosterone for can continue to deliver. Whereas if you don't have testosterone in your system at a level that is not low normal, but average or optimal, higher end of normal, then your body cannot do what it needs to do. And then you start aging and looking old really, really quick. And guess what? Then you can't enjoy the fun things in life with adulting. So your sexual health goes through the door, financials, mental health, visual, how you feel about yourself, all of that starts to disappear because of something so simple as just checking hormones and being active and controlling your thinking process. Ladies, if you have had a total hysterectomy, that's my situation. If you have had a total hysterectomy or you've been on birth control, or you have PCOS, or you have endometriosis, which is where my issues came from. If you have had birth control or been on birth control, or if you have just had a baby, or you have gone through a loss of a child, which I've had that happen as well. If you don't know where your estrogen and progesterone numbers are, you absolutely need to see about looking into that. And a lot of gynecologists and OBs will not recognize a lot of those numbers because it's not what they're in tune for. Most of them are more in tune with maternal health and trying to deliver and process pregnancy babies, as opposed to our reproductive system phasing out, basically. So if you see a functional health practitioner, usually a nurse practitioner, a physician assistant, or a doctor in hormone regulation, that is really important for you if you're not able to lose weight. A lot of medicinal weight loss physician specialists will start dabbling in a lot of that. So make sure that you're getting those numbers checked, not because the flag will not go red in a lab setting. If you are having your regular family doctor at your physical do this, if they're doing it through a local lab or through their organizational lab, the lab will not flag that as an abnormally low number until you're deficient or until you're out of the range. If you're too high in cortisol or if you're too low in testosterone or estrogen. If you are too low in those numbers, you're already in need fuel now, meaning if your gas light goes on in your car or the check engine light comes on in your vehicle, you're not going to get it checked out until you can't drive it anymore. If you can't lose fat and you're doing all the right things that you normally would do, the check engine light is on, the empty fuel light is on. You've got to get your numbers checked and figure out which one of the systems is not functioning the way it needs to, because you're not going to lose fat until those systems are all on check and in alignment with each other. So I hope that that helps you. I take testosterone in the form of a pellet. Don't judge me. I'm not judging any of you. There are multiple ways that you can supplement the different hormones when your body stops manufacturing those. I had a head injury 20 years ago that put me into menopause at the age of 27. So I had the estrogen levels of a 90-year-old woman and no testosterone whatsoever. So I had to start understanding and learning this stuff in 2005, as opposed to 20 years now, where they're really up to speed on some of this stuff and have the lab technology and the supplementation to where you can inject yourself, you can put it on your skin, you can have it implanted. There's a lot of different ways that you can supplement what used to be in your system when you were skinny and feeling beautiful and loving about yourself. And you're trying to figure out, like, how in the heck did I get so far away from this? Our body stops creating hormones as we put crap in it. Our cells become tainted. Our mind is constantly stressed. That changes hormone production. And remember, hormones are the chemical messengers of the body. They're the ones giving the information via chemical. The electrical of the brain and of your thoughts and of movement and vibration is what changes the information processes, electrically speaking. So we have to have the chemical and the electrical in order for everything to work together. So I hope that answers some. I'm sure that's not what you thought this video today was going to be about, but what I have learned the hard way, and if I had all the money that I have spent on weight loss drugs, on weight loss gadgets, on specialists, on testing, on special foods, on diets, then you name it, I've not done liposuction. I've not done surgery to remove fat. I have not gone there, and I'm not going to go there. But if I had all the money that I have spent on all this stuff over the last 25, 30 years as a fitness professional and as a medical professional, I would not have to work today because I would have enough money to sustain myself without having to work. That's how big of an industry it is. It is a $1 trillion industry with gadgets, gizmos, supplements, drugs, processes, professionals, you name it, okay? So I hope that you're able to walk away with a little bit of information as to how to redirect helping yourself or getting the information, the data, the facts that you need, because what works for you, what works for me, what works for everybody else is totally different, because we are individuals that are reshaping our processes chemically and electrically are actually happening based off of our thinking processes and experiences of the past. So you have to make sure that you know where your numbers are, or you are throwing energy at the wrong thing most of the time. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to show you what is next with the vibration plate. I'm just going to take you through a 10-minute high-low workout where we're going to get the heart rate up, we're going to bring it back down, and then we're going to go through another 10-minute program in which you can just relax and just focus on feeling the burn. And then I'm going to be doing another video shortly after this one on using vibration plate technology for post-hysterectomy. So if you've had a hysterectomy, going in for a surgery, or if you've had an abdominal surgery, prostate surgery, if you've had any abdominal surgery, but specifically this one's going to be geared more at knowing what you need to know following a hysterectomy, then join me in that, because it was one of the worst experiences of my adult life having that surgery, because guess what? I gained a lot of weight and I could not exercise because it made me physically sick to exercise for the first time in my life. And so my body said, no more, you're too inflamed. We're not letting you exercise. We're shutting you down. And so I had to figure out what was causing that. And it was all from my vagus nerve. So vagus nerve, you have to pamper the vagus nerve in order to lose fat for fuel. Otherwise you can't exercise and it won't allow you to do that. So I am not a prescriber in GLP-1s injections. So, I understand how it all works, and I understand that it is a big trend right now in medicinal weight loss. It does work magic. So if you have a practitioner, a doctor or a nurse practitioner, PA, who has recommended an injectable weight loss drug for you, I have used those in the past. I don't use the commercial pharmaceuticals. I don't use the injectable pens that are brand name. I actually have a lab, a pharmacy locally to me that creates a compounded peptide that I inject as a GLP-1 type. So it's identical to the others, but it's a peptide compounded product that I can microdose. So in other words, I don't have to do the full injection that you would have in a commercial. I do very little, goes a long way for inflammation. And I don't use it for weight loss. I use it for inflammation. They're learning now that a GLP-1 medication can help in reducing inflammation, which allows your body to release fat for fuel. That's one of the reasons why it works the way that it does. But remember, if you're using it as a magic disconnect for having to do everything else, you're injecting instead of having to exercise or move, you're going to lose muscle mass in order to continue to function, because you're starving yourself of calories. That's what it does. It changes how your body perceives caloric needs, and turns off your hunger switch, turns on your happy feel good switch. But if you're not fueling your body enough, then you're not going to get the right weight loss in the right areas in the form of fat loss as opposed to muscle loss. So you don't want to lose muscle on the scale, you want to lose fat on the scale. And if you're not able to see your muscles because you have a lot of lumpy tissue that you're seeing, that's why you're seeing that, is your body's actually losing weight in the form of muscle mass. So make sure that you're doing you're doing workouts that stimulate muscle hypertrophy, muscle gain, or muscle maintenance. Because if you get skinny and you lose weight, but you're losing muscle, then you lose the ability to stabilize yourself. You lose the ability to transfer energy to be, stable. You fall, now you're done. So I hope that's helpful for all of you. There's a lot of training coaches and medical professionals who are against the GLP-1 injections or medications. I'm not against them. I think you use it as a tool, you use it as a resource, just like you use the tool to change, the pictures hanging on the wall. You swing the hammer in order to hang a new picture. You learn how to use a screwdriver in order to change out, certain things, different batteries to work on a car. And when you don't need it, you put it away and you use it when you need it later. Medication can be used as a tool, as a resource. So if you use it short term in order to jumpstart your body's metabolism or homeostasis, different processes to change what the brain is perceiving and what it actually needs, yes, it works great as a tool. But when you use it as a dependent, that's when it becomes a problem. So I still do all my workouts on vibration, though. I don't go to the gym. I don't do a heavy amount of cardio. If I do go to the gym with my family or meeting friends, I do cardio. I get on a cardio machine and do 20 minutes, but I don't do any more than 20 minutes of cardio because it's inflammatory for anybody over the age of like 35. So I hope that that's helpful. So let me take you through a quick workout. 10 minutes on one vibration plate, 10 minutes on the other. and then we'll conclude, and then I'll look forward to seeing your comments and suggestions. If you can give me feedback on how this is helpful for you, we can continue to come out with more of these informational series videos in which you have the information that you need in order to make mindful decisions in your own wellness journey. And it is totally different for every single person. There are no two people, I don't care if it's identical twins, no two people are chemically or emotionally formulated exactly the same. And so your journey, twin sister's journey, your sibling, your brother's journey, mom's journey, best friend's journey, they're all different because our bodies are totally different. Even though we have the same assembly parts, the way one vehicle drives, the way another drives, based on how you maintain it, how you take care of it, which parts are on it, how you switch things up, how you level up, it's all different. So make sure that you're not comparing yourself to the past, because that person of you is long gone, and what you have to work with is right now, and that's your opportunity. So make sure you're getting your supplements in, and let's enjoy this little workout I'm going to take you through. Now, for me personally, when I'm doing my workouts, I love to do my workouts barefoot. So I have tennis shoes on right now because I don't like to stand on hard floors without tennis shoes. But I have my vibration plates on a rug in the middle of a hard floor. So I'm just going to keep my plates on the carpet, and I'm going to take my shoes off. If you feel like you want to do these workouts with your shoes on, that is perfectly fine. If you haven't had your shoes off yet today and you haven't gotten grounded, 80% of the nerve cells that provide your brain with information about where you're at in space exist only on the skin on the bottom of your feet. And those sensors, if they're not giving you energy and feedback, certain muscles, especially in the pelvic floor and in the abdominal region, do not work the same way. So I like to do a lot of my workouts barefoot, but you don't have to do them barefoot if you don't feel comfortable or safe enough to do barefoot. Do I offer weekly exercise classes using the Lifepro vibration plate? We are transitioning into that right now. I'm personally starting to prepare myself for that. I'm in a process in my personal life where I just went through a divorce after 27 years. I'm living in a rental home, getting ready to buy a home in order to create that video studio in which I can go live and do regular workouts with clients every week. So that is coming. We also have the Lifepro Wellness Circle. And if you're not already part of the Wellness Circle, we are actively creating videos for that right now that are exclusively to that program that you can subscribe to. They are pre-recorded videos in a variety of different areas that you might be looking for information, whether it's upper body, lower body, whether it's lymphatic drainage, whether it is core. And by the way, core is anything between the fingertips to the toes. It's what connects the torso together and transfers energy from your limbs to your limbs. So yes, that is coming one of these months coming up. We're working on the Wellness Circle right now with creating those videos. I am actively assisting the Lifepro in putting the Wellness Circle together with workout programs. So you might not see me on camera, but I might be the one that's creating the actual program. But I do have videos on YouTube, and you'll find lots of programs. I can attach a link in the comment section of this video when it's done. You can go back and rewatch the video. I can send you a file of every workout that I've taught that you can go back and rewatch by just clicking on the link. I will tell you that technology has come a long way. So if you go back and watch a video from me working for Lifepro back in 2020, I look a lot bigger. The sound is a little different. The visual is a little different. I might be a little blurred because, again, like what Wi-Fi and fast internet and computers and audio have come to now, that's what we're working on right now, is creating an exclusive program that you can cocktail in whatever workouts you want, or go back and rewatch the same one over and over again, and we just hold your hand and teach you how to do all this. So I appreciate that question, and definitely am looking forward to sharing my favorite workouts with all of you, because again, I love my vibration plate workouts are my absolute favorite. And I started the entire trend back in 2020 when there was nothing. I just did it for something much bigger than myself, not realizing that 6 years later it was going to be something even bigger. So thank you for those of you who have watched the workouts. We're working on more of those. All right. Now, for today's purposes, We are not going to do any official workouts that are going to require extra equipment because I just want you to use what you got. If you don't have some of these extra tools and pieces of equipment that you've seen in some of my other videos, I don't want you to be discouraged from not doing them. So I'm just going to go through, again, 2 10-minute programs, just using body weight. When it comes to your vibration plate, when your vibration plate arrived, you received these little resistance bands. I will throw some of those into the mix of the workout. So if you have your resistance bands handy, awesome. And if you don't, that's quite all right. You don't have to have them. So let me move my room around here just a little bit so I have enough room to get long and lean. And again, if you have any questions on these workouts, don't hesitate to let me know. And without further ado, we're going to get started. So yes, you can use your vibration plate on carpet. You can use it on solid floor. The big question many ask me, which speed, which setting do I choose on the vibration plate? I love choosing a preset program because I don't want to think about what I'm doing when I'm in it. And the vibration plate, if it is creating a lot of change throughout the process, then you're going to get more resistance that your body has to overcome. It's more of a surprise. The more of a surprise you introduce to your body, the better results you're going to get. So if you're using your vibration plate on the same speed all the time, you're not going to get results. So make sure that you're choosing a preset program, whether it's a low preset program or a high preset program, it doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that you're getting something that's ever changing because your body will get used to it and then you don't function the same way. On the Rumble X type series, has 3 motors. The P2 program on most all the Rumble X models is my absolute favorite. My body has not gotten used to the Rumble X P2 program in 6 years. That product came out for the first time in 2020, and I used it starting at the beginning of 2020, and I've used it every week ever since. The Waiver this is the Waiver right here. If you choose a higher preset program, typically speaking, the higher the preset program on a lot of our models, the more advanced they are. So you just choose what works for you, mix and match, play around with it, have fun, and do what works for you. So I'm going to do the first program I'll do on the Waiver. The second one I will do on this is called the Relax Vibe. All right, so choosing a preset program right now. And mine specifically has got 9, so I'm going to go with P9 because I want intensity. Okay, and the Waiver, this one actually has 15 minutes, so I'm going to end up in only doing one of these programs, believe it or not, because I've got to be live for another program for Lifepro at 1:30, so we're out of time, but want to be able to take you through this. So here we go. Let me change the length of the room so that you get all of my head instead of just a little bit of my head. There we go. All right, so here we go. We're just going to start on top. Okay, get yourself comfortable. Make sure that you feel stable. If you have your bands attached to your machine, awesome. And if you don't, that's quite all right either. It doesn't make any difference. But all I'm going to do is just work on, I'm going to create a little bit of tension here to where I'm using all my muscles. And all I'm going to do is we're just going to do 10 squats. So there's 10, there's 9. And the idea is to get the heart rate up and to get our body vibing, okay? Now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Instead of keeping track of numbers, I keep track of time here. So give me 3 more of these. 2, 1. Nice job. Now, I'm going to take one, push it overhead. Take the other, push it overhead. This is just basics right here, okay? So we're just taking one band and pushing overhead. If you don't have resistance bands and you want to use water bottles for weight, all the power to you, okay? Okay, so we're going to do the next 10. We're going to squat, press overhead. Squat, press overhead. And when you squat, I want you to think about sitting back on a toilet, sitting back on a chair behind you, instead of going in front of you, okay? So 5 more right here. 5, 4, 3, here's 2, 1 more. Okay, awesome. Now, what I'm going to do next, I'm going to drop those bands, and I'm going to take one step back, and I'm going to touch down on the plate. And I'm going to look up, and I'm going to step back too, okay? We're going to do the same side. So step off with one, reach down and touch the plate, whatever way is easiest for you, or just touch your thigh, and then step back up. That is a reverse lunge, okay? Those of you that want to take this up a notch, we drop down, we step up. We drop down, we step up. And again, if you're just getting started, just tap back, drop down, stand tall, and find your spot back on the plate. We want to make sure that you feel safe. But we are increasing heart rate and working on single leg, and at the same time, heart rate and respiration are going up while I'm working on single leg strength, and that's super, super important for longevity of life. Okay, here we go, 5 more of these, right here, 5, here's 4, 3, 2, last one is right here. And again, if you don't feel safe doing that, then find another way. My leg is burning on fire. That means muscle activation is happening, heart rate is up, we're using fat and glycogen for fuel. Now we're gonna go the other side. Step back, drop down just a tad, come back up tall, find your plate. Step back, get rebalanced. If you wanna drop all the way down to touch the plate, great. Step back up. If not, if you just wanna step back, make contact with the hand to the leg and then step back up, you do whatever feels safe for you. Those that want amplified intensity, we're dropping down, stepping up 2, okay? Reverse lunge, stepping back up. Let's do 10 of these in a row right here. Starting 10, 9, 8, you got it. There's 5 more. 3, 2 more right here. And there's 1. Nice job. Now, I want you to get those hands on those knees into a squat, and I want you to go in and out with those legs, in and out, okay? Lots of burning, in and out as the vibration plate changes speed on us. You're gonna feel an intense burn right here because we're holding this position, and by going in and out, we're working these outer thighs and our butt muscles while forcing our quads. Heart rate is up. You can hear my heart rate. Yep, speed just went up. Here we go. Now we're jiggling heavy, okay? Hold here. Nice job. Go ahead and grab one of your resistance bands, whichever one you feel safe with. Okay, and right here, get into a squat and just rip the band apart. It goes around the wrist. Just rip it open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Hold right here, okay? We're gonna go super slow, just standing, let those legs flush out. We're just standing tall. Now here's what I want you to do. Take your shoulders and pull them up into your ears. Like, sometimes going to grip your neck, go up really tight. Now pull everything down into the back pockets of your pants. Imagine you've got jeans on and you're pulling your shoulders down into your back pockets, okay? Now, very slowly, open up wide with that band. Slowly bring you back to the center. Good. Open up wide. I know, right? Legs are on fire. Arms are on fire. I'm not moving, just a little bitty bit at a time, but man, are we burning. Good stuff. And you just work as feel as good as you are able to feel. We just mix and match this up just a little bit at a time. Bring those arms down a little bit closer to you. Bend those elbows. Open and close. Nice and slow. Open up. Close. Open. Close. Nice job. Give me 5 more of these. Here's 4. Super slow. Super slow motion is awesome. We're recruiting lots and lots of muscles in doing that. 2 more right here. 2. And last one. Nice job. Okay, next exercise, many of you are not gonna like, is a plank, okay? If you don't want to get in a full push-up position, that's quite all right. I'm gonna turn my plate sideways so you can see a different way of doing this. And again, on this one, if you wanna make this harder, we're gonna go with the resistance band at the lightest level. I'm gonna make this very, very easy or very, very hard. It's your choice, okay? And I'm gonna bring you down in my visual point much closer so that you can see Amber up close and in person. So bear with me as I bring you down. Okay, there we go. All right, so on this one, all I want you to do is get comfortable with being close to your plate. Most people are not planking correctly. So what I want you to do, we're just doing upper body here, okay? All I want you to do is hands and knees, just relaxed. Let's take one hand out to the side, bring one hand out to the other side, bring it in and bring it in. And we're gonna go back and forth. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Now, if we wanna make this harder to where we're really working on our core, we're gonna pick those knees up, okay? I want you to be able to see the form here. So we're gonna go here. We're gonna get our feet underneath of us however we can. Just barely pick those knees up off the ground. And just hold this, just holding this right here. We're tapping into calming the stress hormones down while increasing heart rate, respiration, and activating our entire core. So we're getting that shaping going on, but we're also telling the body it's okay to let go of fat for fuel. And then we want to take one hand out to the side, bring it back in. Take one hand out to the side, bring it back in. And if it's too much energy for you, then you can choose a lower preset program. And if the mat on your surface drives you crazy, then you can get yourself a yoga mat and cut it down to size, put it on top, and then you don't have that those texture dots like messing with your hands. So to make this harder, we're going to go out, out, in, out, out, in. If we want to make it even harder, we can go into a push-up position. Okay? And we can just tap one hand out, one hand in. One hand out, one hand in. And again, if you can't hold any of that, it's okay. That's where I started. We just start with our hands right here, and we just put this resistance band on, and we just start working on toning out the upper body, just tapping. We just tap. Okay? So I wanted you to be able to see that squared up and in person. So again, tapping it out. And if we're going to go long and hard, we can go bear hover, tapping it out, tapping it out the other way. And if we want to go full on push-up plank position, we can go tapping one side, tapping the other. And if you can't hold this position, you want to get into a deep stretch and hold this position, there's a lot of different ways we can do this. But we're in the last 5 minutes here of getting the heart rate up, getting respiration up, getting lean muscle mass, working, firing, in, out, out. Holding here, in, out, out. You can go foot up, switching back, other foot up, hold it as long as you want to. And if we want that heart rate to go up and we need more intensity, then we work faster, make it more complex. Yes, my shoulders are on fire right now, on fire. Nice work. Hold. Bringing it back down. Bring those knees in. Drop down and relax. And then from here, we're going to go into just some core stabilization exercises where we can work our lower tummy and really feel like we're getting more out of this than what we want on the others. A lot of people don't enjoy doing the other hard things, but you got to do the hard things in order to enjoy the fun things. So, getting into position, resting. If your vibration plate has an easy touch pad that you can tap into by accident, you want to cover that up with something so that you don't accidentally tap it. But from here, we just get our shoulders and our hands up off, so get your butt up off the plate. And now we're just picking up one leg and putting it down. If that's too much energy for you, you can go off the front of the plate a little bit more, or just go hands free all together, put that band on, and we're here, and we can march in place. Okay, this right here is actually really hard to do if you're not familiar with it. If you're using the right muscles, and we're using your pelvic floor, and we're using our ribs, we've got lots of muscles firing right now, and then we can hold. So hold. Doesn't feel like much energy, but I'm telling you, I'm sweating. Heart rate is up because I am having a challenging time communicating. We take those legs apart, bring them in, take them apart, bring them in. And again, if this is too much, then put those arms back to balance. And you can go up and switch. Yep, my abs are burning. Those are always a good feeling. If you can't feel things working, then you're like, man, am I really doing this? Or is this actually working? And then before you know it, you're like, okay, maybe I'm not feeling those muscles. Maybe I'm not losing fat there. So again, don't doubt your body. Just give your body what it needs in order to be able to thrive and function. Okay, so again, we're going to go off the front, dip down, and back up. Dip down and back up. If we want to make this harder, one leg up, dropping it down. So now I'm lifting my body weight with vibration. Let's go 5, same side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching it out. 5 right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a seat. Okay, we got 1 minute left. So from here, put that band on around the ankles and rip the band apart. Just rip it apart, okay? If you want to make abs work, core working, just rip that band apart while we're holding position or holding back. And if you don't want to go that far and you want to experience it here, out, out, in, out, out, in. Just working on the basics here. Nice job. Just less than a minute left and we're done with this one. Awesome job. Again, you choose whatever program works for you. If you love this video and you just want to do the workout, come back and rewatch it and then just fast forward to the segment where we start the workout and you can repeat it. I'll be teaching some more fat blasting workouts early next week. So those will also be available at your fingertips for free. And that's the end of our 15 minutes. It goes by pretty quick. And again, don't use the calorie counter on the vibration plate if you have one, because it's not accurate. It's not realistic, because what you burn calorie-wise versus what I burn, 2 different things. You just want consistency. So it's just kind of there to give you kind of a motivated guideline. But is it truly going to help you keep track of what's real? No, that's when you would need to wear a tracking device, such as a heart rate monitor, a ring, so you know what your sleep patterns are and you know what your true caloric expenditure is and where your heart rate is. We don't want to get the heart rate any higher than 80 to 85% max heart rate for more than 20 minutes, or it becomes inflammatory in later years of life after 30. So I think that's it. I hope you guys had a great time today, and I hope you learned something. And I'm going to look forward to seeing all of you again very soon. Be looking for those fat blasting workout routines coming soon here in a few days. And for the online on-demand video library for doing classes with myself, Debbie, and Roseanne, you can find a lot of our videos on YouTube. I will connect a link so that you can have a Google Sheet that offers all of my fat blasting programs of the past. And again, just remember, don't judge because of the video, because the quality of those videos have gone down because of technology advancing itself. So we're going to be recording some of those for many of you. But just remember, you've got to love yourself in order to get started. The more critical you are, the more negative you are towards your body, the less likely you're going to lose that fat, because your mind is guarding, because it doesn't love what it's in and what it's working through. So when you start doing things for more than you, and you start looking at yourself and loving you a little differently than you do now, that fat will melt off of you because your body will surrender it because it's no longer trying to survive. So yeah, thrive, going from survive to thrive and from broken to blessed. We can use these situations in our life that we don't enjoy in order to learn through them. And this is so much bigger than me. I'm teaching you the lessons I have learned the very hard way. Lots of money gone, lots of research, lots of pills processed, lots of injections. I've learned it all. And today I just roll a day at a time, and I don't get on the scale unless somebody's just curious. Hey, like, what did you weigh in today? Like, I most days I don't even know what I weigh. I just go off of how my clothes fit and how I feel as an individual. So if you are somebody who sits behind a desk, and I call those the desk jockeys, and you don't move enough, get yourself a Waiver or a Waiver Mini and put it underneath of your desk, because just getting your legs moving a little bit is going to help with metabolism and the hormonal response system and lymphatic system. So if you are needing to move more throughout your workday, but you don't have vibration at your fingertips, you can start with, like I said, the Waiver is one model. The Vibrance X, this is our newest baby model. It packs a punch. It's one of my favorite new designs. You can put this underneath your desk, put your feet on it, and it will keep you very lively and feeling great, so that when you actually do have a chance to put time into yourself, that you're not trying to work from just getting up out of the chair. If you feel like you've got butt glue in your seat, then you need to get one of these so that you don't feel like you're stuck to your seat. And then when you get up and you move around, you don't feel like you're 90 years old. You feel like you're 40 years old when you're like 50 or 60. So I hope that helps you all today, but super excited, and I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Have a great day.